So why meditate? First of all, I'm going to tell you what research says, and then I'm going to tell you my own personal feelings about why I meditated and what it did for me. So the research shows that it's good for your health. Lowers blood pressure, increases immune function, decreases pain, decreases inflammation at a cellular level, apparently. It's supposed to make you happier. It can increase positive emotions, decrease depression, decrease anxiety, and decrease stress. But I need to stress that it depends how well you are taught. Because if you're not taught well, if you think you're trying really hard to get rid of thoughts, for instance, it could make you more depressed when you find out that it's not actually working. Because, of course, the more you try to get rid of your thoughts, the stronger your thoughts become. So, you could try meditating and find that it's really terrible for you because it depends so much on how you are taught. It's supposedly good for your interactions with others. It can increase social connection and emotional intelligence. And it can make you more compassionate, can make you feel less lonely, gives you greater self-control, improves your ability for introspective, alters your brain in a good way, because it actually increases your volume of grey matter, makes you more productive apparently, increases your focus and attention, improves your ability to multitask, improves your memory, and improves your ability to be creative and think outside the box. And it makes you wiser and more genuine. Now, did I get all of those benefits? I think I did actually. I mean, I don't know about what was happening on the cellular level, but yeah. For me, meditation's been a huge key in my ability to handle my own mind, because I think this is probably a neurodivergent thing, is that as a teenager, as a young person, I don't remember back to when I was a child so much about exactly how my brain was, but I had a massive amount of stuff going through my head all the time. And I would get stuck on one thought and go over and over and over. And I would be going crazy with, and it was exhausting, And I remember the very first thing that I did in meditating was I was trying to go to sleep one night and I just couldn't get this thing out of my head. And I was so tired and I just wanted to go to sleep. And I remember saying something to my dance teacher at the time, and she actually was a Tibetan Buddhist, and she said, well, just imagine those thoughts like leaves falling off a tree. I went, that sounds good. She said, just see them like, as if you're looking at a blue sky, and they're just falling through, and all those thoughts just go fluttering down. And I tried it, and it worked. I was just able to kind of, instead of getting caught up in all of that thinking, I was able to just let it go. It's just thoughts, just fluttering through the screen of my mind. Brilliant. So simple. And meditation can be incredibly simple. It depends on the kind of person you are. Complexity is really good for some people. What I found personally was that I came to really know myself. There's no doubt about that. I got to know all the different layers of myself, from the thoughts and emotions to my beliefs to the core essence of who I am. And I came to have this appreciation for the fact that at my core, I'm okay. It's like the way I manifest in the world might not be so great. I might make mistakes. I might embarrass myself. I might come across the wrong way, particularly as a neurodivergent person. I might have trouble socializing, but the meditation practice just allowed me to kind of let all of this sort of just wash over me. So I didn't take rejection so personally anymore. So the kind of things that people would do or say, or the way they would behave around me because I was too intense, that's my main thing, or because I got really excited about something and I couldn't stop talking about it. Yeah, it didn't hurt me so much, And I really did get to develop a very clear awareness. I got to become in charge of my mind. I didn't feel like my mind was kind of running away from me anymore. And I really learn to just be, with whatever was coming up. And yeah, I did learn to become calmer. And even though that's not what we should be aiming to do when we start to meditate, it does tend to be a byproduct of it if you do enough of it and you're paying attention to just what's going on in your mind and get to the point when you just go, oh yeah, thoughts, just thoughts, then you do just tend to chill more. It also gave me a way to connect with the wider reality. And for me, someone who has this sort of innate, this sense of kind of connection with everything. And I used to think, like nobody else seemed to understand that kind of thing. And when I started meditating and sort of got into it, was like, this is fine, this is where this thing goes. It's not some weird thing that, I had that makes me this weirdo and nobody understands, but it's actually meditation can help me to not only just, to fall into that state, but to relax in that state and to realize that it's a perfectly natural state and it's a bloody good state to be in, this state of oneness with everything. So you have to be careful when you meditate not to try to do anything, because the trick with meditation is not to try and do anything at all. And I think if you try too hard to do any of those things which I mentioned in my video on what meditation is not, then you're likely to get not the best results and you might end up feeling, depressed or like a failure or whatever. If you go, okay, meditation really is just paying attention to what's going on in my brain at this particular point in time and not getting caught up in whatever's going on in my brain, then it's fine. And it's like you just sit down and do nothing. Literally do nothing. Except when it's a imaginative style of meditation. And that's something I'm going to be talking about later, because for neurodivergent people, I think just sitting there is probably a little bit boring if you've got a really, 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 really busy brain. And I certainly couldn't just sit there and do nothing. When I started, I had to have something to do mentally. So visualization was terrific for me. And that's just, one style of meditation. It really depends on the kind of person you are as to what kind of meditation sort of appeals to you and what you feel comfortable with. And I will be going into all these different kinds of meditations and how you can do them and where you can do them. And you can pick and choose. And you can do one kind one day and a different kind another day. And the real beauty of meditation, which I think a lot of people don't realize, is that it isn't just something you do when you're sitting down. You can do it anywhere, any time of the day. So I hope you'll follow me for more on meditation.